Hello everybody, I'm Krieg Morgan and I'm here to tell you about my new build, the Phantom of the Dripera. A mana stacking martial build based upon the Mind of the Council mask. Now, what is this you say? A mana stacking martial? Correct. Both our offense and our defense is based on having as big of a mana pool as possible. Now, how is this defense possible? Well, in 0.2.1, in addition to adding the Mind of the Council mask, GGG added a new rune that gives you 10% of your damage taken from your mana before your health pool. And with a 5-slot Morior Invictus, that means that 50% of the damage is going to our mana before it goes to our health. In addition to that, I have this Megalomaniac, which gives me Lucidity, which gives me another 8%, and I have 4% in a gem that I don't show. For a grand total of 62% of the damage comes from my mana before my health. Now, I made sure to point out that I am using Asmeri Brew because that is the key to what makes this work. With Asmeri Brew, if we have taken any sort of health damage, we can use the health flask to fill up both our health and our mana. And when you have about 2,000 mana, it becomes a lot more important to do that. Now, I should note that this footage right here is not the endgame build. I have been working on this for a minute and I'm stubborn and I don't like to look at other people's stuff, so I had to do a number of iterations. But this is an example basically of how the build does mapping. You throw down lightning rods, you hit him with lightning arrows, you spread the lightning love, and things go kaboom. It's a really lovely setup. I think in this particular clip I had also set up detonating arrow with embitter so that I could freeze things and get the extra 30% of cold damage. I thought that would be the tech. I never actually was able to utilize it against Zesht, so it didn't work. I also think I have electrocating arrow on here, which I thought also would work. And spoiler alert, electrocution did come into play, but not with that ability when I finally do get to the Zesht clip. But the build is really solid. You have a little bit of dodge, you have a little bit of armor, you have a little bit of energy shield, but mostly you are tanking things with your mana bar and then hitting your blasts. And it works pretty well in that regard. A lot of things that are normally very brutal are very easy to deal with. Like a lot of dots, just not really much of an issue. Bleed can still get hairy, but usually you get a heads up that you are in the danger zone and can hit your health flask when you hear, I'm out of mana. And then you go, oh shit, and you save your ass. I've done it countless times. There are some weaknesses to the build. You are a low HP build and you are also a low energy shield build, so there's really not much in the way of stun protection. I've kind of covered for this with a stone charm. I also have fairly weak elemental resistances as well. Not resistances, ailment resistances. You can get frozen, it does suck. I also have a thawing charm for that reason as well. And when I am fighting Zesht, I switch over to different persistent buffs that have warming blood so that I get out of it quicker. I do have to say that with the finalized build, this is quicker. I'm usually just kind of plowing through the breach portion of this. I optimized some things, so definitely it looks a little bit slow, and it is, but it was a work in progress. I apologize for that. In any case, this is the final build. With what I like to call the storm shelter tech. Somebody has probably done this before me, but I figured this out on myself and I was pretty proud of it. But you set up your lightning rods and then you throw down an Orb of Storms, and it procs the Lightning Rod, so even if you aren't pelting with Lightning Arrow at that time, you're still getting an effect. Now, I mentioned earlier that Electrocution was going to come into play, and I slotted Electrocute into my Lightning Rods. And by slotting it into my Lightning Rods, I can continuously build up the Electrocute on him, and I was really hoping to get the Electrocute off before he went into Super Saiyan mode. Unfortunately, didn't quite pull it off, but it doesn't really matter because I think I get him here, and he's mostly just stun locked down to the end. I think I have to dodge a little bit, and yeah. I finish him off in about 2 seconds here, once I finish dodging. And I've confirmed this, he is repeat killable. It's actually gotten easier to kill him. This was the literal first time, so thank you for watching.